On September 3rd, alternative rock pioneers the Pixies released their first new music in over 20 years. In this clip from a longer interview, founding members Charles Thompson, Joey Santiago, and David Lovering address early criticism of their new music, as well as the sudden departure of bassist Kim Deal. The Pitchfork review, I think this kind of sums up what we're talking about, this idea that you're held to some strange standard that is built into the nostalgia of the listener. And for them to give you a 1 on a scale of 10 suggests that it wasn't even really a review, it was more of a admonishment.
I would like to defend the Pitchfork review.
Oh, please.
On a couple of notes. One, the name of it's a blog, right? It's an internet. It's not paper printed ever, right? It's just a strictly online event. It is called Pitchfork. So, to me, that sort of like says it all. I mean, they're a critique blog, and they're called Pitchfork. So, they've psychologically prepared everyone, I think.
Right. It's
be
ready.
fair. So, I believe I've never read Pitchfork, and I have not read this review, although people have mentioned it to me. I guess they use a star rating system.
It's a 1 through 10 rating,
10,
and you received a 1.
A 1. I mean, they are critics, and they're doing their job. Like, I'm assuming they're paid at Pitchfork. I don't know if it's what kind of I don't know. I'm not in that world so much, but there are critics, and they're criticizing, and so. I mean, that's a great thing. I mean, if we didn't have critics, it would the dynamic of all of these events, theatrical events, cinematic events, musical events, they wouldn't really they wouldn't enter into the arena here the same way if it was just sort of, if no one said anything, you know what I mean? If no one said, we here at the blah 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 club think 2 thumbs down. I mean, if it's a different dynamic, it's more exciting. It's exciting to have critics. It's exciting to have people debate or argue or kind of, I love it, I hate it, I love it, I hate it. I'm in the middle, Come see, come saw. So
you'd rather have a 1 than a 5.
I mean, yeah. I mean, there's that too. I mean, so it's almost like it could be kind of like I mean, they've all done it. I mean, they've all done it. I mean, I think that the Rolling Stone magazine famously gave Led Zeppelin's debut, a terrible review.
Right.
All these classic records. I mean, Lord knows how many classic Bob Dylan records have been panned or whatever, at the various times. So I don't really have a problem with this Pitchfork review. And as I say, I'm repeating myself, but they're called Pitchforks. So I mean, what the hell? Skewer me sometimes. It's okay. Live up to your reputation. Live up to your image.
So I think it was in June when the news broke, at least publicly, that Kim Deal had left the band. At what point were you in the writing and the recording of the new music when she departed?
Well, I think, my memory of it is that we were in the pretty early stages of the session that we were doing with Gil Norton, and she'd been a part of the process up to that point, but she very gracefully just said, excused herself of the full matriculation of the session and departed. It was very simple, and it was very frank and kind of it kind of threw us for a loop, but we recovered from it pretty quickly after absorbing it for a couple of days, and I guess all you're really asking me is like how much did she stick around for? So I don't know. I guess on some level it's moot as far as we're concerned. Is she's not on our new record, and while we're appreciative that she embarked initially in the process with us, because I don't think we would have done that, at least at this point.
If she hadn't started.
She started with us, and so we all felt comfortable to kind of proceed. You know what I mean? And so, so I'm appreciative of that. You know, and because ultimately we got to achieve our goal, our ambition. You know, to record new music. So she didn't stick around for the final party, so to speak. But anyway, that's how it all went down.
I mean, you talked earlier about how the other members, all the members sort of put their stamp on the music to make it Pixies music. Can you identify anything that was different because of her absence? If you have the 4 Pixies and then you have the 3, what is the change in the recipe somehow?
Well, obviously
example?
The backing vocals,
Yeah.
you know, and first and foremost. But I mean, now I'm just thinking here, like now in like a Zen. It just came to me at this epiphany. It's, you know, being zenful and all this stuff. We did not know her departure was going to be part of the recording process.
Mm-hmm.
We just had no idea. So we had to move on. You know, I mean, we miss her a lot. Mm-hmm. You know, we was like, come on back. You know, but. It was just part of the recording process. That's it. We couldn't do anything about it. You know, she just that's what she wanted to do, and you know, and we figured out what we wanted to do. So that's it. You know.
Because of and you've talked about this before, Charles, the sort of the yin and yang of the relationship in the band between, especially her and yourself. Does that mean that by default many fans sort of perceive you as the villain in this tale? Just by default, no matter what happens.
No, I don't think.
Because the fondness of her, for her in the band.
No, I don't think that's the case. I mean, people may, I don't know. People can think crazy things, but no, not in the general. No, I don't think so.
I beg to differ.